Hi friends, welcome back. So if you missed part one to this video, we have an amazing professional costume designer we are interviewing today with the most popular costume questions. And again, if you missed part one, there'll be a link in the description. And I'm also going to put a link to Brianna's website if you want to contact her directly with questions. That'll be first thing in the description too. So welcome, Brianna. Okay, so next question, guys. Which part of designing a costume takes the most time? Is it the kind of custom, okay, this is your figure, this is what's going to look best on you? Is it these are the colors? Is it the sewing it? Is it the stones gluing them? What's the hardest work?
I would say for my seamstress, the longest part are smooth and standard skirts because of the many layers and because of serging the end of the skirt and all those, you know, if a dress has 3 layers or more, she has to do all the bottom of the skirt, especially if it's like satin chiffon or georgette, which is a more delicate material. It just takes a lot of time and attention. And then I would say secondly is my part, which would be stoning the dress, which I love. I love it when people want a dress just decked out in stones. I love it. But it takes a long time, and sometimes I spend hours and I stand back, I'm like, did I even do anything? So it takes me a while, but it also takes me a while because I'm very particular about the adhesive. I refuse to have adhesive seeping out of the edges of rhinestones. That is a big pet peeve of mine. So I just do everything very carefully by hand. And if there are sew-on stones, I sew them and I adhere them so they stay on really nice. You won't have any stones popping off. But yeah, those two I would say are the longest.
Nice. And then how long have you been doing costume stuff, whether it be like stoning shoes or how long have you been doing that?
I did that too. So I would say for as long as I've been kind of competing. So when I started in 2015, and then when I got married 5 years ago, that's when I met my mother-in-law, who is my partner in this. And actually it was a huge blessing because I had the skill for designing and rhinestoning, but not so much for the sewing. And I took sewing classes. I had tried it. There are just some things we are not blessed to do. So she is amazing. She actually made my wedding dress for my wedding as well. So when I met her, I was like, oh my gosh, she makes everything. And so it just worked out great. So,
and guys, I think what I'll do at the end of this video is I'm just going to insert some photos so you can see some of these costumes and kind of what a professional costume looks like. And so you'd mentioned the rhinestoning making a big difference in terms of looking really professional. Yes. Does someone ever hire you? For example, they'll send you an unstoned gown and say, can you make a silk purse out of a sow's ear? Like, do you ever do that, or you just do from ground zero?
Oh, absolutely. We do a little bit of everything. So I get plain dresses. I get ladies who are in a pinch, like, oh, I need a new dress for this, you know, show dance or this competition. I have this practice dress. Could you make it look competition ready? I'm like, yes, absolutely. So I actually love this. It's really satisfying, the before and after. And for gentlemen, same thing for Latin shirts. If you have a Latin shirt that needs some stoning, no problem. I can do that for you. We'll just, you'll just contact me. We'll discuss a time to meet. You can call me, you can text me, we can meet on video chat. We can talk a little bit about budgeting, how many stones you want. Or if you want me to go crazy, I can go crazy. So yeah.
And then you mentioned in our last video that it takes several months to have like a gown made from ground zero. Yeah. How long does it take if you already have a plain gown that needs a little giant pick-me-up? Mm-hmm. How long does it take if they're just sending you the gown and having it bedazzled fabulously?
I would say anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, so yeah. Way faster turnaround.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Okay, and so it sounds like you do both men and ladies costumes. Mm-hmm. And do you do all 4 styles?
Yes, we certainly can, for sure. We do get more gentlemen for Latin. just because that's
Yeah.
what we teach, and also people come to us more for Latin. We can do American smooth suits. That would be amazing. I would love to. We can make anything for you. So you just have to reach out to us and send your measurements, and we'll talk and we'll meet. And that's pretty much it. We'll go forward from there.
Okay, another question. What is the craziest costume request you've ever received?
Okay, not so much crazy, but two things. Okay, one thing is alterations for older dresses. It's very hard to do alterations with a dress that has a lot of age to it. We can certainly do so for you, but I will say at that point, you might as well have a custom dress made. I know that we get attached to our costumes sometimes, but it's a little bit crazy with the amount of work for such an older dress. Secondly, I would say some designs that have been suggested to me have been like, wow, okay, that's really interesting. You want a pair of shorts with that dress, like as the skirt? Like, I don't understand. So, I always try to give my professional opinion, if it's wanted as well, but I'm very kind about it. But I know I've been doing this for a very long time. I know what looks good on you. I know what's gonna compliment you best on the dance floor. If you really want something totally out there, I will make it for you, no problem. But I really want to flatter your fit, who you are, who is your inner dancer on the dance floor. So I haven't had anything too crazy yet, but designs that were pretty out there a little bit, yeah.
And guys, my first costume designer saved my butt. I saw a costume that looked amazing on someone else's body on the floor, and she obviously sent photos of myself, and I was like, okay, this is the gown I want. I copied it verbatim, and she's like, Sunny, I'm not so good with your figure. And she described why and how, and she gave me several alternate suggestions that, looking back, I'm like, thank heaven she did that. I really do feel the costume can make a difference in your marks, especially when you get into the open levels and everyone's dancing like correct heels and toes and timing stuff. So at that point, aesthetics is gonna really come into play, and you want to play every card you can on that floor.
Yes.
Okay, and so I have some questions about what styles you would suggest for different kind of common challenges that some bodies have. So firstly, what if as we age, our skin gets a little wrinkly, crepey? What do you recommend to make that look amazing on the floor?
Yes, absolutely. So you can't go wrong with having a mesh sleeves, mesh back. You can have an open bodice, but have mesh covering. We can have this be a flesh toned mesh that matches you, and we can do the same color stones on it, like kind of skin tone stone color, or we can do mesh that matches the dress. I think, keeping it simple, monochromatic or skin color as far as mesh just really looks nice. It's just gonna make the skin look nice and smooth. And then if it's a previously owned dress that you have, adjustments can certainly be made to accommodate that. But this is why, the custom made is really nice, because it's very specific to your fit. And, we just make everything just for you, so it fits you like a glove.
Okay. And then what about, some people have a little bit of I'll say, fat kind of hanging skin or saggy arms. Do you have any design suggestions to make that look beautiful?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I will just always say, keep it simple. We don't need like butterflies and all this crazy stuff going on to cover up anything. No. What I've done recently, like I said before, we can do mesh sleeves. We can even do for American Smooth, I've done for American Smooth, Rhythm, and Latin, a sleeve that maybe comes to 3/4 length and then drops down to attach to the waist. So when you open your arm, this part is covered, but it looks like a really nice flowy, piece, like a sleeve, but it's kind of like, it flows with you. It looks really nice on the dance floor. And you can do that. I would say I've done mostly, Latin rhythm and American smooth. And there's many different ways we can do this, and we can add stones on it to make it look really nice. If you want to have some sparkle, we can do this with mesh. We can do this with Georgette. If you want more of like a flowy, kind of softer in the air look. So yeah, there's definitely like a lot of options. We can do fringe if we're doing, a Latin dress and you want something with a lot of movement. I've seen a lot of the like fringe on the sleeves lately. Actually looks really nice. So yeah.
And then, friends, I'm not body shaming. I'm just bringing up questions that I have heard about costuming to address kind of common, I'll say, just insecurities that some people have about their build. I'm not saying anyone is perfect, doesn't exist. But, okay, now you've mentioned the kind of trim and the movement. I am all about the Muppet pants. So you actually do things with fringe as well?
Oh yes, I love fringe, and it creates a illusion for faster dancing, faster motions, So I love using beaded fringe, the Preciosa crystal, just even having it from top to bottom scattered throughout the dress. The crystals are a little bit heavy, so it creates a short, fast movement. So it's really great for those Latin rhythm dresses. Or I've done like full, starting on one shoulder, going across the body for a rhythm dress. This is also really great for hiding the tummy area if you feel you want to kind of camouflage that in a really nice way. So yeah, I love working with fringe. It's so fun.
I agree. I think it looks amazing on the floor. My dream costume, one day I shall buy this, is a full-on like cat suit in mesh and stones and full-on Muppet pants. I just think that would look amazing on the floor. I love that look. Oh man, it just is so, it's exciting. I want to look at it. Okay, so how about if someone is maybe a little bit more of a pear shape, and we, whether it's Latin or standard, there's probably different suggestions for both, to kind of have us feel a little more secure on the floor about being a little bottom heavy.
Okay, bottom heavy.
And I'm especially interested in the Latin because it's not very forgiving in terms of the skirt length or pants.
And that's, that's part of it too. You just have to embrace yourself. Okay, love yourself, and you're already out there on the dance floor. That's pretty vulnerable. But as long as what you're wearing, you feel confident in, it fits you well, you go and dance your butt off and you do your very best. That is all that matters. But for more pear shape, we would do something I think that would want to taper in a little bit more on the hip area. So we can do that with either stoning, or we can maneuver the skirt in a way so that it brings in the hips. Even with the waist too, someone who may have more, of a tummy, we can do stoning to maybe kind of cinch the waist a little bit, bring it in so we create that illusion, from an audience standpoint on the dance floor. And then just as simple as possible. I've seen a lot of these prom dresses, there's just so much going on and they're trying to cover up, and it's like, why? You look great. Get out there on the dance floor. Wear something that is just simple and timeless, and we'll do it specific for you, however it needs to be tapered for your body. And that's about it, I would say. Just absolutely keep it simple as possible.
Yeah, and if you're new to competition, it's not like Dancing with the Stars pros. There are all body types on the competitive floor. And in my opinion, I've been in this industry about 40 years, the ballroom and Latin world embraced body positivity long before that became a thing in popular culture. It really is about health and movement and mental and physical well-being. So anyway, you guys, I have gone way over my usual timestamp. I apologize. We're going to come back because I have many more questions for Brianna about kind of cuts that are going to look the best on you on the floor, make your dancing look the best. Okay, so I'm not gonna post that tomorrow, but I am gonna post very soon. So just keep track of the channel, and I will say, Brianna or costuming or something. And friendly reminder, I am gonna put a description link in the to Brianna's website in this video description. And I think I'm just gonna close out this video as well, so stay tuned. I'm just gonna show some images of some of her beautiful dancewear. Okay, see you in the morning. Bye guys.